朋友们，不得了了呀！川普的关税战引发了一个极其严重的后果。为了绕开关税，无论是中国厂商还是美国的消费者，都想尽各种办法。中国的厂商直接在 TikTok 上面发视频展示自己的生产车间、生产设备以及产品的质量、价格等等，最后附上自己工厂的地址，欢迎美国人亲自来中国下单采购。而美国人很快发现中国的购物网站，他们发现了淘宝、拼多多、京东等等各种中国的购物软件。一个最显著的特点就是同样的商品，中国的淘宝比美国的亚马逊要便宜太多了。中美网友的互动中发现了一个全新的未知世界，借由 TikTok 这个新世界迅速的被全美的网友知晓了。原来中国本土的商品是这么的便宜，质量是这么的好，那为什么美国的物价这么高呢？同样一个商品在中国国内和在美国可以达到10倍、100倍的价差，巨额的利润全部都被中间商给挣去了。而现在川普的关税战又要在老百姓的钱包上再砍上一刀。一个美国小哥发视频，希望有人能帮他代购中国产品。结果呢，视频一下子爆掉了。
If anybody's going to China this weekend, if you could send me a message, I just need you to pick up a few things while you're over there, and then I'll go next time, and we could just keep taking turns. I do like the tariffs, though. I think it's good that we're teaching China a lesson. It's just, is there a less expensive lesson maybe that we could teach them? Because I don't want to keep paying extra for the lesson. But I think the tariffs are good, and they're great, and they're working.And also, if anybody's going to China, just let me know. That would be great.
现在去中国采购商品，去中国代购，顺便借由中国的免签政策去旅游一番，已经成了 TikTok 上面最热门的话题。究竟这一波浪潮是怎么兴起的呢？我们来看一看一位美国黑人大姐，她在视频中展示了中国的供应商在 TikTok 上面卖力宣传。
They probably should have took this app away when they had the chance, because the Chinese manufacturers just hit them folks with the Uno reverse. And right now, the Chinese manufacturers are the best content on TikTok. They said, oh, tariffs, you say? Oh, okay. American people, y'all said y'all like New Balance, Adidas, Nike. Bet. Oh, yeah. The manufacturer is such and such, located at such and such in Guangzhou. They do shipping within this time, and here are the products.I've seen the manufacturers for every brand anybody could possibly think of, from shoes and apparel to beauty products. One of the Chinese manufacturers said, oh yeah, you know how you pay such and such $100 for Chanel beauty products? Well, we only make them for $10. Listen, I don't know how this tariff thing is going to play out, but the way that the Chinese manufacturers are playing their hand, absolutely well done.
这是来自中国制造的顶级阳谋。既然你要关税，那我就去掉中间商，直接面对美国的消费者。我不相信美国人能扛住中国如此低廉的价格冲击。还有一个黑人大姐想来中国买中国制造的奢侈品。另外呢，还有一个白人大姐说美国是恶霸，欺负全世界，中国是唯一一个对抗美国的国家，中国更加的关心美国人民，他要去中国免签旅游，顺便买华为手机。这番话把我直接看傻了，但是呢，他说的又是如此的正确。
Baby, the peasants have spoken, and I love China even more. I'm loving this. China has just opened its doors to Americans with what? Visa-free travel. Why? It's not just for tourism, baby. It's for shopping. Here's the kicker.People are now flying to China, thank you China, to buy what used to be called French luxury, Italian excellence. In fact, it has always been made in China, or at least for a very long time. And China is owning it. From made in France to made in China. I love it. I really do. It's great quality. Think handbags, tech gear, skincare.The same factories, the same supply chains, but half the markup. And now you can buy it directly with no visa needed. This is China's clapback, and I'm here for it. If the West is going to label everything made in China, I think what China is saying, okay, fine, come here and buy it yourself. No middleman anymore. Luxury isn't dead. It just changed its address.
Get ready with me as I get ready for work. So I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit more about the tariffs. It's been a lot of back and forth, right? So obviously the US raised their tariffs, and right now we're all the way up to 145%. The US is bullying the rest of the world, and China is the only one that is standing up to them. I feel like China actually cares more about American citizens than America cares about its own citizens. That's because China is making policies that make things easier for Americans. For example, the new tax policy. See, as an American citizen, I could fly to China and use the visa-free policy, right? So I don't even have to have a visa to travel to China right now. Or I think it's like 244 hours, like 10 days. I could travel to China, go to any of the stores, buy the stuff that I need to buy, and get a tax refund on the spot. So basically evading all of the tariffs that Trump is putting on China that the US citizens will pay. That is so smart strategy-wise, because you're not only like making the American people support China more, but it's a real kind of like F you to Trump. I don't think most Americans understand that right now. Some of us do, but I think a lot of Americans still truly believe that like China or the other countries are the ones who are going to be paying the tariffs. But that's freaking crazy, because it's the Americans, the American companies who are importing this and selling it to Americans who have to pay. Most Americans don't understand that the one who's going to be paying the 145% tariffs is themselves. And honestly, a lot of us are really concerned. I'm very scared to see where things are going to go. I certainly cannot afford to pay 145% on all of these products. And it's probably going to be even more than that, you know? Companies have to make their profit too. I heard that the iPhone is going to go up to over $3,000. I cannot pay that. $3,000? Are you serious? I certainly cannot afford $3,000 for an iPhone. Honestly, anything that is just kind of like a big F you to Trump, I'm in full support of. So you might catch me in China soon, buying a Huawei. Maybe I will take advantage of the 244-hour visa-free policy, come to China, and then buy a bunch of stuff and bring it back. Tariff-free. I feel like a lot of Americans feel the same way, because everyone's really frustrated right now, and we kind of just want to do anything we can to defy Trump, right? So even if that means buying my own plane ticket, flying to China, and like going shopping, buy a bunch of clothes and bags and electronics and cute little dog toys, I would do that. I would go through all the extra effort just to be petty, just to say like, F you to Trump. So that's all. What do you guys think? Should I do it? And this is the final look.
I don't know how true this is, but I just saw a video of a girl saying that China has opened up their doors to allow Americans to enter their country without any true paperwork, just so that you can shop there for 250 hours and then come back to America to avoid paying tariffs. This is all so that we can avoid importing their goods to pay tariffs. The Chinese have come up with a loophole. I feel like that's so smart, and it's so petty, but it's so smart. Let us come over there and shop there, right? And it reminds me of the whole thing with Red Note. Like, they took away, or they tried to take away TikTok, and then we went over there.
还有两个小哥啊，也挺有意思的。一个呢，意外发现了淘宝，比对了同样一个商品在淘宝和亚马逊的价格，结果让他惊呆了。淘宝啊，简直成了他心中的神。而另一个小哥呢，聊起了机械设备。他说啊，同样的设备，中美价差达到了10倍，而更重要的是跟中国下单很简单，告诉产品数量、技术要求，就可以等着到点收货。而美国这边不但供应商价格高，而且有订购的数量要求。好不容易啊，找到了一个，居然连图纸都看不懂，不懂怎么制造出来。小哥啊，最后得出结论。我绝对不会在美国找供应商供货了，关税我根本就不在乎了，无论如何都要去中国采购。
So if you've heard anything about China, you've probably heard about Taobao. It is the Chinese Amazon, and it has amazing stuff. and you can get all sorts of different custom things straight from the factory, so it's super cheap. And I had an interesting situation come up. I just bought something, but I looked it up on what it cost on Amazon versus Taobao, and it was crazy. So this is the thing. It is a penguin eyeglass holder. Super cute. Oh, so adorable. And then you take the glasses off, and it's a penguin. So on Taobao, this was $3.50. I just looked it up on Amazon, and it's $15. So 400% markup that some company is buying it from the same factory in China and then selling it and distributing it on Amazon. 4 times that's what you're paying on top of what it actually costs to buy it in China.
And this is the insane part about why like all American companies are making stuff in China versus America. So we make these boxes, they're self-checkout kiosks in China, manufactured, powder coated, for shipping. I'm probably $250 into this box. Tariffs got a little scary, so we send the designs to a bunch of companies in America. And all I'm getting are these emails about, well, how many are you going to make? If you're not going to make 500 at a time, we can't work with you. With a whole bunch of kicking and screaming, I can get an American company to make this for maybe $1,200, not powder coated, no packaging, no shipping. The biggest thing I'm running into with American companies is that they're coming back and they're just saying like, well, how are we supposed to make this? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I gave you CAD designs. Like, look at the CAD design. So I'm probably still going to make them in China because I don't have to deal with Americans. I get this to China and they say no problem. And then 6 weeks later, I have these beautiful boxes in my hands for 1/10 of the price of America.